Coming up on First at 4, one grocery store in Letcher County is back open for the first time since the flood. Plus, former President Donald Trump is back at Mar-a-Lago after pleading not guilty to criminal charges.
And we continue to track another chance for severe weather into portions of the region tonight. The latest threats on the way as Mountain News First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, it's another very warm day out there, and storms are expected to roll across central and eastern Kentucky in the next few hours. It's a first alert weather day, and meteorologist Evan Hatter joins us now with more on what to expect. Evan.
That's right, Steve. Continuing to watch severe weather well out to our west, and it's moving on into the region as we head a little bit later on tonight. Our first alert weather day coverage continues. This is the very latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Level 2, slight risk for severe weather for areas mainly from, let's say, Whitley City to Corbin to about Jackson and points off to the north and west. That's areas in the level 2, slight risk, with the level 3 in the bluegrass. Everybody else is in the level 1, marginal risk. Now, gusty winds to 60 miles per hour will be the main threat with this particular system. Can't rule out some isolated high water issues, but flooding is not a huge concern. Hail threat's rather low, and the tornado threat, as usual, is low, but never zero. Here's the current radar view. Nothing going on here in the mountains. It's just a warm and windy Wednesday afternoon. But look out to the west where we have several severe thunderstorm warnings, even a tornado warning out near Santa Claus, Indiana. That whole line of storms is slowly moving to the east. Tornado watches out toward Louisville. Severe thunderstorm watches taking in the Lexington area right now. No watches or warnings in effect for the region right now, but I suspect that will change a little bit later on today. Look at this, a breezy, warm day in downtown Somerset, sitting at 84. Temperatures are look at Manchester, 87. Harlan and Jonesville checking in at 88. It's April the 5th, and we are seeing summer-like temperatures out there ahead of this line of storms. We're gusting 30, 35, nearly 40 miles per hour winds in some spots, and we'll continue to see breezy conditions as we head through the evening. So your forecast first, temperatures stay mild until those storms arrive and knock us back into the 60s. Steve, I'll have the details on where the storms are now and where they're headed in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thank you. Definitely feels like a summer day out there. This week, the Isom IGA reopened after being destroyed more than 8 months ago in the July flood. And earlier today, the staff and members of the community celebrated with a ribbon cutting to mark the official grand reopening. Isom IGA owner Gwen Kristen says they are thrilled to be open again and amazed by the support they received during the past 8 months and by those who made an appearance this morning.
To see the warehouse and all of their support team, to see IGA International, to see the National Grocers Association, to see the community to support us and support Isom community is great. It is wonderful.
Gwen and her husband Arthur purchased the Isom IGA store 25 years ago. And the Kristen family says the employees and customers are like part of their family. WYMT's Olivia Calfee will have more on the family and the reopening tonight at 6. Today, Attorney General Daniel Cameron joined a coalition of 22 other states in opposing any regulation on gas stoves. The move comes after the Department of Energy recently proposed new rules which would affect gas and electric stoves with the goal of becoming more safe and efficient. To help combat any potential dangers, the city of Hazard offers free gas detector installation.
Even our fire department does free installations, inside the city for gas detectors and smoke detectors and CO2, and it can happen, and sometimes it does, but that's not a normalcy at all.
The proposed rules would not affect already existing gas stoves. WYMT's Keaton Hall will have more about this tonight at 6. Former President Donald Trump is now a criminal defendant accused of falsifying business records, but those charges are not slowing him down in his bid for the White House. Trump is facing a unique challenge, defending himself in criminal court while running for office at the same time. He pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records yesterday. Prosecutors say the charges emerged from a series of hush money payments designed to suppress bad press that might have influenced the 2016 presidential campaign. Trump's attorney says the president has been put through a political persecution.
Charging the President of the United States with crimes that will never be sustained in a court of law because they don't exist.
Trump did speak at his Mar-a-Lago home last night, saying the only crime he's committed is fearlessly defending the nation from those who seek to destroy it. We'll have more about this coming up at 5:30. Taiwan's president arrived in Los Angeles yesterday evening following her visit to Belize. She was accompanied by the chairperson for the American Institute in Taiwan, Laura Rosenberger, as well as Taiwan's representative to the United States. She is supposed to be meeting with U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy sometime today. McCarthy's office says the two will be at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library for the historic meeting. We will also have more about this coming up at 5:30. Foreign ministers of NATO countries met in Brussels today, including U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. He's been holding talks with his counterparts from New Zealand and Croatia. Finland became the military alliance's 31st member yesterday. Blinken gave credit to Russian President Vladimir Putin for the move, saying this is, quote, maybe the one thing to thank him for. Former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi is back in the hospital less than a week after he was released. The 86-year-old politician was released from a hospital in Milan last Thursday after spending 4 days undergoing tests there. His political party nor the hospital has given more details on his hospital stay. Berlusconi, who stood down in 2011, was the dominant figure in Italian politics for nearly 2 decades, a period which also saw him tried on at least 17 charges involving claims of embezzlement, tax fraud, and bribery. Israel's far-right security minister has made incendiary comments calling for heads to roll in Gaza. The remarks come after rockets were fired from Gaza into Israel following a night of violence in Jerusalem. Israel has already conducted retaliatory airstrikes on what it says are Hamas targets. CNN's Hadass Gold has more.
Israeli police stormed the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem early Wednesday, where Palestinians worship during the holy month of Ramadan. Video put out by the Israeli police shows officers entering the mosque by force as fireworks are launched at them. Videos on social media appear to show officers striking people with batons. Eyewitnesses telling CNN police also fired stun grenades and rubber bullets. The police said in a statement that they went in because hundreds of what they called rioters and mosque desecrators barricaded themselves inside in a violent manner and, quote, threw fireworks, hurled stones, and caused damage. The authorities arrested more than 300 people during the incident. The Palestinian Red Crescent saying at least 24 Palestinians were injured. Israeli police say 2 of their officers were also wounded.
The holy sites behind me are known as the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, or Haram al-Sharif, the 3rd holiest site in Islam. You can actually hear the call to prayer going on right now, but it's also known as Temple Mount to Jews, and it's the holiest site in Judaism. Now, there is a status quo that governs these holy sites, and the Israeli police entering the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is this building right here with the black roof behind me, that is considered a violation of the status quo. And then not only them entering, but them entering in the way they did, firing stun grenades and rubber bullets, well, that brought it to a whole other level.
Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia have denounced Israel for what happened, the Jordanian foreign minister saying the world must clearly condemn the attack. Shortly after the raid, rockets were fired from Gaza into Israel, the militant group Hamas saying Israel's actions in Jerusalem wouldn't go unanswered. The Israeli military said it had struck Hamas weapon sites in Gaza in response. Hadass Gold, CNN, Jerusalem.
Coming up on First at 4, nearly 60 million people are under the threat of severe storms this afternoon across the country.
And that includes us. We're tracking strong to severe storms trying to make a run at the mountains tonight. The very latest after this.